In a quiet little valley, surrounded by towering mountains and rolling green fields, lived a young man named Ethan Parker. At just 24, Ethan should have been in the prime of his youth. But instead of feeling alive, hopeful, and full of energy, his heart was heavy, and his mind was like a storm that never ended. From the outside, he looked like any other young man, tall, strong, capable. But inside, he carried a weight that no one could see. His thoughts never gave him rest. All day long, they circled him like restless birds, swooping in with regret about yesterday and then darting away, only to return as fear about tomorrow. Ethan's friends noticed how he rarely smiled anymore. His mother often found him staring into nothing, lost in worries that drained him. At night, he tossed and turned in bed, unable to sleep, his heart pounding against his chest. Some mornings, he felt so exhausted he didn't even want to get out of bed. He kept asking himself, "Why can't I just be at peace? Why can't my mind be still for even one moment?" One evening, while sitting near the village square, Ethan overheard some travelers speaking about a faraway place hidden deep in the hills. They spoke of a wise old man who lived there, a man who had once been a famous psychologist in the city, healing countless souls burdened by the weight of their thoughts. But this old man had left that world behind. He had chosen silence over noise, nature over concrete, stillness over constant motion. And now, in his mountain home, people came from distant lands just to seek his wisdom. Ethan felt a flicker of hope. His heart whispered, Maybe this man can help me. Maybe I don't have to live like this forever." So, with nothing but a small bag on his shoulder and determination in his heart, Ethan set out. The journey was long and exhausting. The roads twisted through cliffs and forests. The sun burned his skin during the day, and the cold bit at him during the night. There were moments when he thought about turning back, moments when he doubted himself. But the thought of peace, the possibility of finally quieting his restless mind, kept his legs moving. After many days, he finally reached the hillside village. It was breathtaking. Stone cottages wrapped in ivy, narrow paths lined with wildflowers, and a silence so deep that even the breeze felt sacred. At the far edge of the village stood a small wooden house, almost hidden beneath vines and trees. There, on the porch, sat the old man. His eyes were closed, his posture straight, his presence calm. He looked like a river that had finally found its stillness after years of storms. Ethan walked up to him, his voice trembling. "Grandfather," he whispered, "my mind, it never stops. It drags me into the past. It throws me into the future. I feel lost, tired, and broken. I just want peace in my heart. Can you help me?" The old man slowly opened his eyes, and they were clear, like morning skies after heavy rain. A gentle smile touched his lips as he said, "So, you are searching for peace? Very well. Come with me, I'll give you a task." He led Ethan into the small yard where he picked up a glass and filled it with water until it was brimming at the very edge. Handing it carefully to Ethan, he said, "Take this glass. Walk from here to the end of the village and return. But remember, not a single drop must spill." Ethan looked at the old man with confusion. This was the answer? Carrying a glass of water? But he was desperate. So he nodded and began the task. The village path was narrow and alive with activity. Children chased each other, laughing and screaming. Dogs barked and wagged their tails. Shopkeepers shouted out their prices. Women called from the windows. Life pulsed around him in every direction. But Ethan barely noticed. His eyes never left the trembling glass in his hands. Step by step, he walked carefully, his entire being focused on keeping the water from spilling. Some villagers stopped what they were doing to watch him. They whispered to each other, recognizing that he was being tested by the wise man. But nobody interrupted him. At last, after what felt like forever, Ethan returned. His hands were stiff, his breath uneven, but the glass was still full. "Grandfather," he said with pride, "I did it. Not a single drop was lost." The old man's eyes twinkled. "Good. But tell me, Ethan, did you see the children laughing by the roadside? Did you hear the dogs barking? Did you notice the songs of the birds?" Ethan blinked, confused. "No, I didn't. I only saw the glass. I only thought about keeping the water steady." The old man smiled, his voice soft but filled with truth. "That, my son, is the secret you've been searching for. When your mind is held in the present moment, when it is fully anchored here and now, there is no room for regret, no space for fear. Just as you focused only on the water, you can choose to focus only on this moment. The past cannot touch you here. The future cannot frighten you here. Only peace exists in the present." Ethan stood still, the words soaking into him like rain into dry earth. For the first time in years, he felt something shift inside. He realized the storms that tormented him had not come from the world outside, but from the way his mind wandered endlessly away from the moment he was living. "Peace," he whispered, "was here all along. I just never looked in the right place." The old man nodded as the last light of the setting sun washed the yard in gold. Birds flew overhead, returning to their nests. The air was calm, the earth steady, and for the first time Ethan's heart matched that stillness. He bowed deeply. "Thank you, grandfather. I understand now. If I want peace, I must keep my mind where my feet are, in this moment." With that, Ethan walked back down the path, but he was no longer the restless young man who had arrived. He carried nothing more than he had before, yet inside he was completely different. The storms were quiet. The weight was gone. He had discovered a truth that would guide him for the rest of his life. Peace isn't something you find out there. It's something you uncover within, by choosing to live here, in the present. And maybe, just maybe, that's the same truth you've been waiting to hear. So, if you find yourself drowning in thoughts about yesterday or tomorrow, remember Ethan's lesson. Focus on the glass. Focus on the moment. That's where peace lives. If this story touched your heart, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need it today. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful, life-changing stories. Until next time, stay calm, stay grounded, and keep your heart right here, in this moment.